Yeah, well, we got a big week of work and planning to get ready for Friday night's game against Rhode Island. Best team in the league, one of the better teams, one of the best teams in the country. And Coach Hurley's done a great job building that program to something special. So excited to play. We had a winning 3 in a row here, 2 on the road. Is really proud of our guys, and we're improving. And we have to have a big week to be ready to play the best team in the league.
So to speak, you're going to give them like the right time, so, with 3 straight wins, and you gave this kind of most of this week off and get that time to prepare?
Well, guys would rather play than practice, so it's good if we have really good practices and follow the plan, follow the preparation. So that gives you a little rest. Yesterday we took off yesterday, and we'll have a good practice today, and then tomorrow we'll be a lot lighter, and then really prepare for it. So, yeah, I think so. But when you win some games, you build momentum no matter what. And I thought for our guys, the last 10 days we've improved and we've gotten better, and we found ways to win, and that helps your confidence, number one, and builds momentum, number two. I think that's huge.
An outcome like yesterday.
Sure, I thought the George Mason game, we got off to a good start both halves, which was something that we've been really emphasizing. I think, going on the road, just our mentality, our approach on the road last week really gave us confidence, and hey, we can do this. And then I also think we had a lot of guys contribute on the road the last 2 games. And, we talk about having an army, putting that army in full force, and I think you saw that at times, and led by guys off the bench. Chris Lane, of course, just gave us great energy, gave us more firepower, and gave us options. And when you have options late in the year like that really helps you.
Coach, when you go into a matchup, obviously Chris had a big day on Saturday. When you go into a matchup, can you kind of see ahead of time that this is set up well for a certain guy to have a good day?
Well, you hope so, yeah, without a doubt. When you do the scouting reports, and as a staff, you talk about, hey, this could be a strength here, this could be an advantage here, but it doesn't mean it comes, through. So you got to make sure. It's definitely an idea, but every plan, works until you feel you got to go a different way. So. I think the one thing that we're doing a good job of finding different guys to score and make plays, and we're scoring points, and we're doing it through each other. It's just not a one-man show. And of course, Justin is doing a great job finishing and making plays and scoring. But I think other guys are contributing at a high level, and that's really helping us.
Hey, Coach, you get to Rhode Island on your home court, where you guys have historically played well. What would a win over that type of team that's 9-0 in conference right now do for your team's confidence?
Well, number one, it's the next game. And when you're in league play, you got to win your next game. No matter what you did the last game, be ready to win the next game. So that's always going to be our approach. But then when you're playing the number 1 team in the league and you have them on your floor, it's a great, that's an advantage. So you got to take care of that advantage. And we have an opportunity to play the number 1 team in the league. We need to win, one of those things, and if you're not excited to play this one, then you shouldn't be putting the uniform on. Our guys will be excited to play, so it'd be great because it's to win the next one and win a big home game on a Friday night. It'd be awesome.
Is it a different kind of week with there being this much time between George Mason and Rhode Island, because you've been playing 2 games a week pretty much for a month and a half now, and now it just kind of changes the flow? How do you deal with that?
Well, I think it's good for certain guys to get a full day off yesterday. We'll go today, but we won't go long. Tomorrow will be a little bit lighter. So I think it gives guys some rest, mental rest as well. I think it's good for the staff to have a couple extra days to prepare together. So I look at it as an advantage this time of the year. Our practices are very intense, but they're not very, very long. So I think that helps us. That's just the way we practice. But we'll be ready to go. And everybody has to have a down week, or I should say a bye week, and it's ours this week. We just got to take advantage of it and be ready to go Friday.
With this much time off, can your scout be a little more detailed, or does it give you extra time to work on what you need to fix?
Well,
internally?
I think it's more about us and do what we need to do and work on things that we need to work on. I'm just because we have extra days, I want to change the way we approach scouting. I think that helps our guys, and sometimes keeping it simple is the best approach for us. But you do have some more time to dive into certain things. Maybe the opponent will do a little bit differently and all that. But we want to try to keep it as the same, as simple as we do.
Aside from the fact that they're probably one of the most seasoned rosters in the conference with a lot of upperclassmen, what is it that they just have done so well this year?
Well, they have an edge to them. They have upperclassmen, seniors who are very, very talented, big and strong, have been through all these battles before. Like Saturday, they got down double digits against Duquesne, and they found a way to win. That's what senior, experienced, successful teams do at this time of the year, and they do it. They play with an edge. They play real physical and tough, and we have to match that and pass it out. Really, we gotta bring a lot of juice to this game and a lot of energy. But they're a veteran club. They've been through it before, so we definitely gotta be ready to battle them.
How much has Justin and Johnny and some other returners talked about the 18 final last year, and have you got a sense of how badly they want to get one back after that game?
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't forget that stuff. If you're a competitor, you don't forget that stuff ever, including coaches. But, the only way that we can be ready for Friday night's game is to prepare at a high level the next 4 days. That's number one. They know that. They're veteran guys, and it's our mindset the rest of this week to get ready for that. But if you're a competitor, you remember that stuff all the time.
2 road wins, Coach. We always say how difficult that is to do. What does it say to the mental toughness of our team, the growth, and kind of their appreciation of the approach?
Yeah, it's getting better. I really appreciate the way they've handled it. Their approach to scouting reports, their approach to going on the road with mental toughness that we're going to continue to improve on. It's exactly what we needed to do: go on the road and get 2 games, and we did that. Now let's have a great week to improve. You guys have heard me say it all year long. If we keep getting better every week, we're going to give ourselves a better chance every time we go out, and we've been doing that here as of late.
You talk a lot about growth, and you've mentioned Sean Mobley a couple of times. In the couple of games that he's gotten more minutes and kind of in the starting rotation, what's really grown for him that you have this confidence in?
Well, he's just gaining experience, playing different ways, and I think what he does out there, why he's still gaining more experience is he's getting guys shots, he's getting opportunities for himself, and he's making the game and the offense a little bit easier for he and his teammates, and it's a huge advantage that we have, and he's getting better and better at it.
How much has your personal evaluation of this team changed from back in August and September to now, the way you might grade this team or the way you might judge their progress? Given how young they are, and now you have an idea of their learning curves and things like that, how much has it changed?
Yeah, it's sort of, I have it in different categories. I think their coachability has been high all year long. We don't have issues with this group. They're trying really hard to do what we need them to do, what I want them to do, and they've been great with that. The carryover, I would say, has been really up and down, where some weeks we really carry over what we're emphasizing, and some weeks we don't, and that has hurt us, but also that has helped us. And so that, my grade for that wouldn't be as high as the coachability part. And I think, sometimes that's just with experience. That is getting sort of outside of yourself and having the basketball awareness and basketball IQ when you have carryover to keep it and make it become a habit. We've been up and down with that all year long. And when we do have good carryover, and if we can build that into habit, we're just going to get better and better all the time. So there's times I think we really take some good steps forward, and then there's times where I just don't think we have the basketball habit or awareness that keeps us at that high level or moving in the right direction. And that's where you got to keep reevaluating how you're teaching them, reevaluating how they're accepting and carrying over the message, and then you just got to keep working on it. One thing, good basketball players don't happen overnight. You may see really good basketball plays, but to turn into a really good basketball player, that is over a long period of time with great habits and reinforcing those habits. So I think since August we've really improved. I think individuals have really improved. I think our basketball IQ has improved. But I think in all those areas, at times, it has hurt us, where we've taken a half step or a step back when we needed to show up in game times, and then sometimes, as of the last week here, some of that stuff has really showed up to a positive, and it's helped us win two on the road for sure.
Coach, you've been switching up the lineup a few times this season, and Sean has recently been inserted into the lineup. How comfortable have you gotten with your rotation as we come down this home stretch?
More comfortable than I have. Early in the year it was because of injuries, and we were trying to, get IV back and get Crow back, and then also, the one thing I didn't want to do earlier in the year, even halfway through the year, was throw some of our guys in the fire when they weren't going to have some success. And of course, with injuries, that's tough. And we threw some dudes in there, against some really good teams. But we survived. I think towards the end of the year, we're a little more solidified on our rotations. The one thing that we have to our advantage is we can play big when we want to play big. We can play small when we need to play small. We can put some extra guards out there when we need to. I think our freshman big guys have done a great job of giving us great minutes and holding down the fort around the rim and getting rebounds and playing good defense. And that's huge down the stretch. So we're definitely going to use our bench as our army, as we call it, but we can play some different ways because of all the things we've experienced throughout the year and the injuries and all that. Moving the lineups around at times has helped us, and now it's going to help us even more down the stretch.
Going back to Lane's question, kind of piggybacking off it, you talk about the growth. How has the team's communication improved as well? Because you have all these young faces, a couple seniors, but now, they've gelled, especially when they had that loss and came together and kind of figured it out.
Yeah, well, these guys got along. They always gotten along. They get along very well. They hang out all the time together. It's not off the court talk. It's on the court talk. When you're in the moment, you have to really talk your teammates through stuff, and that's building habit. There's guys that talk a mile a minute when they're off the court. When they get on the court, they don't talk as much. It's because they don't know what to say. And as you play with certain teammates more and more, and you get more comfortable with our defensive scheme or our offensive scheme, that's when you start talking more and more. And the term that we use around here is say what you see to your teammate. If Wayne and I are teammates and we're on one side of the court, we should be talking to each other. And what do you say? You say what you see. Well, sometimes guys aren't sure how to say what they see because they're not sure what's going on yet. That's basketball IQ. That's basketball awareness. We just try to work on all the time with our guys. So it's getting better. And then you have moments like we did at Dayton and Richmond where that stuff really shows up, that it's not where we still need it to be, and it really hurts you. And then, that's what's great about the group of guys we have. They called each other out on it. We got to get better. We got to get better. And that was something that I thought our talk the last week here has really, really helped us. And led by Johnny and Justin for sure.
From a distance, what's kind of your evaluation of what Dan Hunter has done in Rhode Island from 3-13 their first year to what they're doing now?
Well, number one, it's building the program the right way. He didn't go out there and get quick fixes. He went out there. He got it through recruiting and building his program through effort, through picking the right guys, through player development. All his players seem like when they're freshmen, they're so much better as sophomore, juniors, and seniors. So, I think he built it the right way and stuck to his beliefs, and that's why he has a great culture. And that culture just doesn't carry over through the A-10, but it's winning games throughout the country, and that's why he's a top 25 program. So it just shows that you don't have to build a program on quick fixes. You can build it on building a foundation, and a strong foundation, and doing it the right way.
Anything else, guys? Thank you. Good.
All right, guys.